One last question, which I think you just touched upon. I ask, when does blaming society end and personal responsibility begin?
Whenever you're ready to accept it. I think it's everyone's timeline. I
Whenever
don't
you're
think
ready to
it's
accept what
I'm gonna get off
responsibility.
social media and realize that I'm the problem.
So if you're not ready to accept responsibility, that just makes you completely immature. Hey guys, welcome back. You see the title of the video. This is yet another reaction to Mr. It's Complicated out in Las Vegas. Doing great work as always. Shout out to him. I'll put a link to his video down in the description. But without further ado, you're going to get my honest reaction to this. I haven't seen it before, so let's get right into it.
When it comes to dating and relationships, who is typically seen as the prize, the man or the woman?
The woman.
Ooh, the woman for sure. The woman.
The woman.
The woman.
So if the woman is the prize, what would that make the man?
The wallet.
Yeah.
Doesn't that place the man at a lower value and status to the woman?
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Don't women typically want to date a man on her level or higher?
Yeah.
Yes.
So don't
That's
women
really
typically
sad.
want to date a man who's a prize and not a loser?
No, I like to be better.
So if a woman declares herself the prize, isn't that relationship destined to fail?
No.
Not necessarily. It depends on who she's dating. If she's dating a guy.
What do you guys think? He's going somewhere with this. Right, if you watched this before, he's going somewhere with this. Let's see what this Yahoo has to say.
Who, puts women on a pedestal and sees them as like the end all be all, then that's on them. And whatever works for them, as long as they're happy, they're happy. But a guy who knows his worth, they're not gonna go for that.
Well, if the woman is the prize, wouldn't that make the man a simp?
Yes, and there are simps in this world. Like there are high value men, and other people who respect themselves.
But do you think that women want to date a simp?
Some women do. Some women want to be alpha and a boss bitch.
I mean, it depends on the male. If
Pray
the
for
male
him.
is like
Pray for that
a
man.
beta, then he just gonna suck it up and follow behind
This
the
man
female.
is
But
high.
if he's an alpha, he gonna be like, I'm not taking that.
Because I
Speaking
think
facts, though.
actually I know I'm a prize. And so
Interesting.
I think that a man should value me for what I am.
So why do so many women go around declaring themselves the prize?
Because they have pussies. It's much harder to find a high value man than it is an average woman. I can f any girl out here, but for her to find a man who has clout, status, money, influence, all that personality and whatnot, it's way
It's true.
harder. Who's funny, tall.
Not only that, but finding all of that in a guy, and then having him commit to only you. Like, you really think that's gonna happen? Even if you find that guy, like, what? How are you gonna keep? They can't, right? That's why they're always chasing you. So that's why a lot of women will always say, "Oh, I won't settle," right? And the women who always say that men are trash and I'm not gonna settle for average are constantly single because they keep chasing this top tier dude who's like top 5% or whatever. But that guy, right? He's top 5%. Everybody's chasing him. So if he has a plethora of women, why is he going to choose any one of them, right? That's why women who think that way are perpetually single and unhappy because they have an overinflated sense of ego. I said it.
Tall, 6 foot, physical specimen. It's way hard for her to find that.
Why do so many women think they have the golden pussy when every woman has one?
Entitlement. Name of the game. Straight up.
Do you believe in gender equality?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Only when it
How can
benefits
men
them.
and women ever be equal if pussy costs more money than dick?
I honestly don't think we will ever be equal. I think that that is a dream that we would love to have, and that's something that we can pursue and fight for. But I don't truly think that we will ever be treated the same.
Because we're inherently different, right? And just by definition of being different and looking at the world differently and how we made and everything about us is different. So how can we be equal? We can coincide, and obviously like men provide something that women don't have, and more often than not women do provide what a man can't, right? We need each other, but equality, I don't know.
I don't think that's possible.
How likely will women pay for dick or make pussy free?
I don't think they will ever have to pay for dick because I feel like men just always
Exactly.
want it, so we could
Yeah.
just get it whenever we want. Versus men can't necessarily get it whenever they want.
Mhm.
So then what are we fighting for?
equal pay.
That's a
Man,
myth.
we kind of just take advantage of women, so
That doesn't
it's
exist.
kind of one of those
Pay
things that,
gaps.
like, women should love their bodies, should do what they want with their bodies. And, I mean,
You get
I
knocked.
guarantee you, if you walk up
Knocked out.
to, they are more willing to fuck you than a woman would.
Is it easier for women to sell sex than men?
I mean, men can do gay porn. That makes hella money.
Is it harder for a man to get the woman he wants into
Didn't
bed,
answer
or
the
for a
question.
woman to get the man she wants to commit?
Harder for a man to get the woman he wants in bed. Most dudes are lame. They don't have game. They're not cool. They're not funny,
Yep.
smart, tall, handsome, all that shit. They don't
true.
have money. It's harder for them. A woman can f most dudes she wants to holler at.
Let me say this: it's true, but as a guy, we accept it. We don't necessarily complain. At least I don't. Right? I know where I fall short. It's usually in my height, right? But we accept that. We're not out here like, oh, please, we want like. No, we don't. We accept it as a reality, right? And we just keep moving forward. And there are things that we can do to improve and make ourselves much more attractive to the opposite sex.
Man to get the man she wants to commit, I would say.
If women think men are trash, why are they so interested in getting his commitment?
I mean,
Good.
maybe for security.
A lot of these bitches don't be like feeling like they gotta be like wife material, baby. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. Even if you
She's right. A lot of girlfriends out here, but not many wives.
do what you do in the streets, baby. Yeah, you do. You gotta cook. You gotta clean. You gotta do all that. You feel me? You gotta abide by your man's rules. You gotta bow down. You gotta do. You feel me? Like I don't know. Like it's a lot.
Why will women often withhold sex when men have a stronger biological need for sex than women?
That's their only way of power. That's how they can control relationships, sex.
Should men withhold attention and resources when men are unhappy with women?
Yes.
Not all,
Absolutely.
but a lot of women will leverage sex over men, so is it fair for a man to leverage attention and resources over women?
Yes.
I don't think it's fair either way. However, I do think that when it comes to sex, that it should be a consensual thing regardless. So if someone doesn't want to, then they shouldn't have to, no matter what.
Should be there.
Or you
Either
shouldn't
way.
feel pressured to.
Yeah.
Why do women pride themselves on
We shouldn't feel pressured to, but as a guy, you're consistently pressured to be able to perform, right? Because if you're in a relationship as a guy and you don't perform, you don't provision, protect, and provide, they're gonna leave you, right? And then what do you get is a woman's often gonna go to her friends and tell her, "Oh, hey, this guy did this and that," because he didn't fill his masculine role, right? And they will say, "Oh yeah, he should have, right? That's his duty, that's his job, this and that." So as a guy, you're held to that standard. But why don't we hold women accountable?
manipulation as a skill when they already control what men want?
Not all women have that ability. I mean, manipulation, I mean, I can do it, but like a woman, they can do about anything they want, Because men are dumb enough to fucking pay for it, or men are dumb enough to do it.
Right. But just like not all women can do it, not all men can afford to pay for it or would pay for it, right? What is the best and the worst thing about being a woman?
The best and the worst thing about being a woman. Okay. The best thing about being a woman is it's being a woman. I think it's like being like I'm a woman. It's incredible. And the worst thing is like having to be afraid all the time, walking around here
we go
alone
again.
or any place.
Okay, is it
Having to be
realistic to
afraid.
think that nobody should ever feel unsafe?
If it's realistic, I don't know, but it's like my dream.
Well, I mean, here's the thing, okay? Just because women feel afraid all the time, does that mean they really have a right to be afraid all the time?
Sure.
Well, at the same time, if a woman is attacked in public and a man is attacked in public, who is more likely to be rescued?
A woman.
I
By a
don't know,
man.
I think. Sorry.
I guess you're afraid.
That's a post trauma from my home.
Do you think men are the biggest threat to women, or are men the biggest protectors of women?
It can go either way, honestly. I mean, it's the good men out there that want to protect, but then there's also bad men that want to do terrible
Small
things.
For the
minority of
person
men.
that's assaulting, there's also a good guy that's there to save.
Yeah.
But aren't most cops and soldiers men?
Yes.
What percentage of men that you encounter catcall you?
A lot.
Probably 85%.
Like we
Oh,
were just
God.
touched like multiple times. Just walking.
Some guy grabbed my
Stop
nose
it.
about 20 minutes ago.
It is a pretty nose, I will give you that.
Thank you. Look at it from the side.
How
I
often
love
do
the
you fear
attention.
for your safety when a man catcalls you?
100%.
all the time.
Now, I'm not excusing it. Why is catcalling such a big deal?
I think catcalling is such a big deal because I'm not out here dressed like this. You can give a little pan of the outfit. This
She
is
wants the
not
clout. She
for
wants the
others'
attention.
view. This is for me,
That's-
and this is what I feel most comfortable.
That's not true. That's not true. If that was for her, she would wear that to bed to go to sleep, or doing the dishes, or mopping the floors, or whatever. But she's not. She's out there walking like that in public in Vegas, expecting not to get attention. I'm sorry, but
Comfortable in. This is not an invitation for you to come objectify me.
now don't get me wrong. Do I think, that gives you a guy or anybody for that matter permission to go out and do something you're not supposed to? Right? No, you're supposed to be respectful. You're supposed to be a gentleman. Right? But are there bad actors in the world? Absolutely. Right? So to say, oh, you shouldn't do that, like to be able to go out there and then not expect it is a little bit ridiculous to me. It's like me driving my nice car and parking in the hood with the doors unlocked, right? Expecting no one's gonna try to like open the door. Right, that's the reality of things. And for me to go out there, let's say, and I left the doors open and this and that, and something were to happen, it gets robbed or gets stolen, for me to then go and say, oh, I shouldn't have done that. Like, people should just keep their hands to themselves. Like, why are they touching? No, I have a part in that as well. Now, a lot of people say, oh, you're victim blaming. I'm not victim blaming, but we have control over our immediate environments and the environments that we put ourselves in. So we have to take a certain amount of accountability with doing certain things, right?
Or decide that this body is meant for you. It's mine.
Okay, and that's fair. I agree with that. Now, for a lot of women who say they dress for themselves, why do you often see women walking around in uncomfortable shoes and skimpy outfits when it's freezing outside?
Because I made that money, and I'm going to spend that money on some cute heels. And I worked on this body, and I'm going to show it off.
No, I get that, but I'm just saying if they were dressing for
She just says she's showing it off. Why is she showing it off, and to who? When she just said she... God.
themselves, wouldn't they be comfortable?
Yeah.
I think that me in heels looks a lot better than me in just a pair of sweatpants. I do feel better, and that is still for me. Even if it's not the most comfortable, it feels good to me.
If a woman has lots of sexy photos on her dating profile and no bio, should she be surprised if guys are only contacting her for hookups?
Oh, absolutely
No.
not. No.
Definitely not.
Why not?
Because she's kind of asking for that attention.
Yeah.
Is she not promoting herself in the same fashion if she's out walking the streets in a slutty outfit?
No.
No.
Okay.
So why
Why
would
not?
it make a difference if you're online or out in public?
Because you're posting those photos for like a specific dating
Yeah.
app while you.
Herself in the same fashion if she's out walking the streets in a slutty outfit.
No.
Yes.
So why would it make a
Yes.
difference if you're online or out in public?
Because you're posting those photos for like a specific dating
Yeah.
app while you're walking outside. It's like how you want to dress.
I dress.
It's not even dating apps. They post it on Instagram, right? It's not just dating apps now. Don't get me into the conversation where I think Instagram is the biggest dating social media app there is, right?
Dress this way because I want to dress this way for me and not for anyone else. And also, at least here, if you're going to a club, they have
Then wear your pajamas.
dress codes, and you have to dress a certain way in order to get in, and that is why we are dressed this way.
So why can people make assumptions about you online but not in person?
I think they can make assumptions about both, but online I feel like it kind of goes for more like what you post, because you can kind of choose what you want to post and what you don't want to post.
I'm sorry, but you're controlling what you post as well as you're controlling how you dress and how you portray yourself when you go out in public. You control that. Like, where's this lack of accountability come from? Like, it's okay. You guys get it.
Whereas in person, I guess you can choose what you want to wear and what you don't want to wear, but I don't know.
Why do you think women can't just ignore catcalling instead of just hating on all men?
Because when we ignore catcalling, they don't stop. Like they'll just come up to us and like be more in our face and more aggressive when we do ignore them.
Question, this just came to mind. They don't like the catcalling, right? But I bet you if you go to Instagram and they have a picture, you'll see guys hitting them up like, "Hey, pretty. Hey, you look gorgeous. Damn, you got the." Da, 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 da." They don't complain about any of that because they like the attention and validation. They do. Now, the only thing is, in person, you're actually hearing it, right? I don't see the difference. Am I just dumb?
I don't really think there's a way to win. There's been
Maybe.
times when I can ignore it and they back off, or there's been times when I've confronted it and they back off, or vice versa. I don't say anything, I continue to get followed. I do say something, I put myself in even more danger. You really just have
And
to
that
gauge
ain't-
the situation, and there really is no right answer to what to do.
Is every time I go out, no matter how I look, someone is being inappropriate with me, and that's when it becomes an issue because it is inappropriate. And I don't mind. Like,
Now, do I say there are instances that are inappropriate? Like, am I saying that there aren't any instances that are inappropriate? No. I've definitely seen it, right, where it is inappropriate. And there's certain things, like, say, you do have to be a gentleman.
and like you say, inappropriate things happen every day. Like people either touching you or trying to get something from you. But when it's, I can imagine that's why celebrities struggle being a celebrity status because they are constantly hounded for attention. And that's how I feel when a guy whistles at me.
Right, but the fact that you bring up celebrities, right? If you ask a celebrity, if you had to give up the idea of being famous in order to never ever deal with paparazzi, would they give up the privilege of being famous?
No.
Probably not.
Would you give up the privilege of being sexy as fuck?
Does the way that you
No,
dress
they wouldn't.
attract the type of attention you want?
They wouldn't. So what does that mean? Is they value being or having that attention more than when they actually get it, right? They rather get it than not.
Not always.
Not always.
So is it fair to blame society, or is it better to just change your own behavior?
Probably. I don't know.
I would say that society
They
is
know.
the reason that a lot of the problems that we see with dating occur. However, I do think that there are ways for people to avoid them and or change their behavior accordingly.
100%.
I take the steps to make myself feel safer. I carry weapons to be able to protect myself. I learn how to ward off that attention. I've learned how to gauge the body language of if I yell at this man for hitting on me, is he going to become dangerous or is he going to go away? I've learned how to understand that and figure out what to do in that situation.
And one last question, which I think you just touched upon. I ask, when does blaming society end and personal responsibility begin?
Whenever you're ready to accept it. I think it's everyone's timeline. I
Whenever
don't
you're ready
think
to
it's-
accept what?
I'm going to
Responsibility?
get off social media and realize that I'm the
So if you're not ready to accept responsibility, that just makes you completely immature.
problem. I think everyone, a part of them is like, no, the world's against me. And so it's whenever you're ready to accept that.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? In Israel, women are badasses. They can beat the shit out of guys. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying, maybe more American women should serve in the army, and they'll know how to defend themselves.
Maybe more men needs to like not be attacking.
Well, I think we can do both.
Maybe.
I think we can do both. I don't condone the guys who do that.
Fuck her right in the pussy!
I can wear pants. I can wear a top that shows
Inappropriate.
most of my body. And I continue to do so because of all the women who fought for that. Women got the right to vote 102 years ago. That's it. There are women older than that on this planet who were not able to legally vote for the leadership in this country. We do this for them. We wear this shit for them. We do what we want. We have sex with whoever we want for them because we are still continuing to fight
What?
every single day. I am constantly hit on
That's how they fight? By giving it up?
at my place of employment, my professional place of employment. I am treated like a child or like a sex object every single day of my life. And I'm going to keep
Stop
on
portraying
fighting
yourself as
to make
such.
that not fucking happen, or to make that so that I can feel safe being able to look as I do and to be as young as I am and go out and be completely safe. And I'm going to keep on fighting for that.
I'm sorry, but what was that last girl talking about? That's how she's fighting? Oh, God. By the way, just FYI, in case you guys didn't know, women were offered the right to vote much earlier than that and denied it. And there's a reason they denied it. They denied it because they were also told that it came with certain responsibilities that, like men, we had to take on, right? Because men, yeah, it's right. Men had the rights to vote, or the privilege, because even the Constitution, there's no amendment or anything that gives anybody the right to vote. It says it's privilege. So, but yeah, she's right. Men were the sole population that was able to vote. It was offered to women. However, women denied it solely based on the fact that they also had to enlist in selective services like men and go into certain styles of work and volunteer work and everything to be able to have that right. And they said no, we don't want those things. It wasn't until then men, right, in Congress said, all right, fine, we'll take all the responsibilities away that we're giving to the men. We'll take that away and we'll give you just the privilege. And so that's when it was kind of like, oh, okay, well, maybe. And even then, like, women will say, oh, we were oppressed. I'm sorry to say. And maybe you may not like, when I say this, but at the end of the day, men gave you that privilege and allowed that to happen. So how can you possibly be oppressed when the ones constantly pushing for quote-unquote equality have always, for the most part, been men? Because if we really lived in a patriarchy or in a society that was completely unequal and unfair to women, wouldn't we have just nicked it in the butt like in the beginning, right? So it kind of just disproves that, in my opinion. I could be 100% wrong. If you guys have a point of contention with it or disagreements, feel free to comment. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I know I came off a little strong, so I apologize. But please like, share, and subscribe. I will see you guys later. Peace out.